Welcome to Librarian Recommends. Hi, my name is Trish and I'm one of the librarians at Barbican Library. And in this video I'm going to bring you some suggestions of audiobooks to listen to from our eLibrary. You can download audiobooks using our free Libby app. Simply download the app, search for City of London Libraries and enter your library membership number and away you go. If you need help using the app, please take a look at the user guide videos on our YouTube channel using the link above. Today's audiobook suggestions are all books set around the world. First up is The Lost Lights of St Kilda by Elizabeth Gifford. I enjoyed this story of love, betrayal and redemption. Alternating between different timelines and points of view, the plot follows Chrissy, Fred and his friend Archie throughout the years of 1927 and 1940, right through World War II. In 1927, Fred is a Cambridge student who spends the summer on St Kilda with his friend Archie MacLeod to do geological research for a final project. During this time, Fred falls in love with Chrissy, who lives on the island. However, betrayal, misunderstanding and eventually World War II mean that Fred loses contact with Chrissy after that summer. In the 1940 timeline, Chrissy recounts her own life story of growing up on the island of St Kilda. Meanwhile, Fred is a prisoner in a German prison camp. His memories of St Kilda and of Chrissy sustain him and drive his determination to survive as he escapes and makes the dangerous journey back to Chrissy. Gifford weaves her story wonderfully, giving a vivid portrayal of the unique way of life that once existed on the desolate island and of Fred's gripping escape across Europe. How about The Garden of Evening Mists by Tan Tuan Eng? The main character, young Ling To, is a Supreme Court judge in Kuala Lumpur in the late 1980s and is forced to retire as she has dementia. So she doesn't lose her memories, young Ling sets out to write her memoirs. She returns to a Japanese garden in the Cameron Highlands of Malaya, which becomes a place of contemplation, lingering trauma, forgiveness, insight and peace. The flashback story takes place in the early 1950s. Young Ling is the sole survivor of a Japanese wartime camp. Despite her hatred of the Japanese, young Ling asks Aritomo, the mysterious former gardener of the Emperor of Japan, to build a garden in memory of her sister who died in the prison camp. He refuses, but instead agrees to teach young Ling the complex art of gardening. Later they become lovers. In the story of the present, young Ling meets with Professor Tatsuji, a Japanese historian, who wants to write a book about Aritomo's wood carvings. As they talk, new secrets are revealed about Aritomo. Throughout the story, Tan weaves together unexpected relationships between people of very different cultures, from Malaya, South Africa and Japan. The next suggestion is Alex by Pierre Lemaitre. This dark, chilling crime thriller novel is not for the faint-hearted. Narrated in present tense, the story starts off with Alex, a beautiful woman who is kidnapped into a van and suffers inhumane torture at the hands of her kidnapper. French detective Camille Verhoeven and his team are tasked with finding and saving the kidnapped woman. Camille is initially reluctant to take on the case, as he's still reeling from the recent kidnapping and murder of his own wife. However, gradually he gets drawn into the race to find the unknown victim and the motive of the kidnapper. Alex is not your typical victim. Nothing is as it seems, and the line between victim and perpetrator is blurred as Camille's investigations into the kidnapping disclose a connection to some horrendous unresolved murder cases. The plot is full of twists and turns and is split in 3 parts. There's the kidnapping, Alex's resourceful escape, and the final part in which Camille seeks answers about how Alex turned out the way she is. The final audiobook suggestion is Exit West by Mauzin Hamid. This novel follows Nadia and Saeed, a young couple drawn together amidst the growing unrest and violence shaking their unnamed city. They each have very different personalities. Nadia is sensual and independent, while Saeed is quiet and restrained. Nadia and Saeed begin to hear rumours of mysterious black doors that allow people to step through into faraway places. As the violence and terror escalate and Saeed's mother is tragically killed, they decide to find a door and step through, leaving their homeland and their old lives behind. Eventually they step through more doors, trying to find a place they feel they can exist and invent new lives for themselves. They find themselves stranded in a refugee camp in Greece, then a deserted mansion in London, and then a tent city near San Francisco. Their complicated relationship changes as they move to new places that are at the same time comforting and hostile. Initially bonded by their shared experiences, they cling together, but they grow into very different people. Folded into the narrative, we get glimpses of the experiences of refugees around the world using doors to travel to other countries. I do hope you enjoy these ideas for your next listen, and don't forget, if these titles I have suggested are unavailable when you look, you can search by genre or subject and availability, or simply browse in the Libby app. If you prefer to read books, look out for my Librarian Recommends video on ebooks. Please do like this video if you have enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. Your support and feedback is invaluable to us. Before I go, I would like to thank my colleague Wing for her invaluable help putting these recommendations together. Happy listening and see you soon. Bye!